The Indian Americans are welcoming a statement from the White House Press Secretary Karen Pierre, hailing the US-India relationship, including bilateral trade. Now, in a press briefing, she addressed the ties between the two countries and said that both are advancing towards expansion of shared priorities, including economic growth, which remains the top focus. At least 78 people lost their lives at an unfortunate stampede that occurred at a school Ramadan event in Yemen's capital city, Sana'a. Now, Houth's Interior Minister issued an official statement declaring that the event was one for charity donations being made by the merchants. Those responsible for distributing the money have been detained and an investigation is underway. Yash Chopra's wife, Pamela Chopra, passed away this morning. She was 74 years old, has been known as an Indian playback singer. She was last seen in the Yash Raj film documentary, The Romantics, where she spoke about her husband Yash Chopra and his journey. For the past 15 days, she had been admitted to Mumbai's Lilavati hospital, where she was put on a ventilator and her health further worsened. Well, here's an update coming in. There's an army vehicle that has caught fire at the Tota Gali area on Jammu-Poonch highway. 3 Jawans have been martyred in the Mendhar fire incident. Traffic plying from Jammu towards Poonch have been diverted from BG via Mendhar and from Poonch towards Jammu from Jaranwali Gali via Mendhar. So there are certain traffic diversions that have happened. There are casualties which are reported. Those visuals on your screen right now, this is an incident where an army vehicle has caught fire. Rescue operations are underway in Jammu and Kashmir. 3 Jawans have been martyred. That's what we are being told. Traffic diversions have been advised by the local administration. We'll continue tracking the story. We'll tell you more about this. But for now, it's a wrap on this edition of CNN News 18. My colleague Poonam joins you with The Nation at 5. Thank you for watching.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. It's election season in Karnataka and an unexpected name has cropped up. Uttar Pradesh's gangster turned politician who was killed over the weekend, Atik Ahmad, who's been in the news for the last 1 week, seems to have now made an entry into the election discourse thousands of kilometers away in Karnataka. The BJP has lashed out at the Congress over the inclusion of Imran Pratapgarhi as a star campaigner for the party in Karnataka. The BJP has alleged that the Grand Old Party's MP, Pratapgarhi, has links with the murdered mafia don Atik Ahmad. They cited a tweet that Pratapgarhi had made back in 2015, which shows him alongside Atik Ahmad and his brother Ashraf. The ruling party in Karnataka has also alleged that Pratapgarhi called Atik his guru and that the Congress is appointing individuals with criminal backgrounds to appease minorities in the state.
Imran Pratapgarhiya pade ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು Atik Ahmad ನನ್ನ ಗುರು Atik Ahmad ನನ್ನ ಬ್ರದರು ನನ್ನ ಬಾಯಿ Atik Ahmadಗೆ ಶಹರಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಇಮ್ರಾನ್ ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ಗಢಿಯ ಪೋಯಟ್ರಿ ಶಾಹಿರಿಯನ್ನು ಬರೀತಾರೆ ಅವರ ಶಾಹಿರಿಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಆತಿಕ್ ಅಹಮದ್ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ ಆತಿಕ್ ಅಹಮದ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಮ್ರಾನ್ ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ಗಢಿಯ ಶಾಹಿರಿ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ
Today, Congress has appointed Imran Pratapgarhi as the star campaigner, and BJP is saying that he is close aide of Atik Ahmad, and they're doing this in order to appease minorities.
Imran Pratapgarhi is the chairman of our minority cell, and he will be coming. What is wrong in that? We are not saying that someone who is coming, who is under that, who had committed some crime, who is behind the bars. We are not doing that. But people who are asking about the star campaigners, can they answer that why Jatin Prasad, why RPN Singh, why Jyotiraditya Scindia? Because they are self-acclaimed star campaigner.
One of the star campaigner is their honorable member of parliament Rajya Sabha, Mr. Imran Pratapgarhi. You know what is his fame? His fame is that he has made poetry in praise of established mafia dons of UP. It is the words of a star campaigner of Karnataka Congress कि कभी शायद किसी का कोई कद ऐसा कद नहीं होगा, कई सदियों तक कोई अतीक अहमद नहीं होगा.
Now, is Atik Ahmad echoing in Karnataka just for votes? And who really is politicizing Atik Ahmad as far as Karnataka goes and the political discourse in that state goes? CNN News 18 spoke to senior advisor to the INB ministry at the centre, Kanchan Gupta. Listen in to what he had to say.
You've put out various tweets criticizing the proximity, and rightly so, of Imran Pratapgarhi and the slain gangster Atik Ahmad and his brother. The Congress party claims that he is a public figure and anybody can go and meet him and click pictures with him. This doesn't in any way indict him of any kind of wrongdoing.
No, that's not true. The visual which I have posted along with my tweet, it shows Imran Pratapgarhi declaring, and there are one photo or two photos along with it, saying that the two gangsters, they had come home. They had come to his home for dinner. So obviously they were invited home for dinner. It is not somebody just casually coming up to you and saying, can I take a selfie with you? And Pratapgarhi, he wanted the world to know that there is a certain proximity between him and the gangsters. That's why he publicized it.
I once again want to reiterate that argument that the opposition or the Congress party is repeatedly saying, that if you're a public figure, anybody can come and click a picture with you, and picture cannot be the proof of any kind of guilt. Questions are being asked of Samajwadi Party, but do you also hold the Congress party in any way responsible for the likes of Atik Ahmad and their rise in the state?
No, all three parties. You see, the point is that a certain approach to politics was taken in Uttar Pradesh by the Congress, by the Samajwadi Party and the BSP. And that approach was to make or sort of incorporate the mafia into the politics of that party. It was politics of intimidation, it was politics of appeasement, and it was politics of criminality. So that is how it happened. You don't call an acquaintance or a passing acquaintance home for dinner.
Okay.
You do not refer to them in such a reverential manner. And you definitely do not put out a photograph or photographs of that meeting into the public domain, unless you want the world to know that you have a certain proximity to the criminals of UP. Now, that is only one part of the story. The other part is the Congress has drawn up a list of star campaigners and for Karnataka, and he features on that list. So soon after the ghastly episodes of UP, where the Atik Ahmad episode is not yet over, they field somebody who was close to him as a star campaigner.
Now, let's take a look at what exactly the objections have been, what the back and forth between the BJP and the Congress has been over this issue. The BJP, like you just heard, has been saying that Imran Pratapgarhi, the Member of Parliament of the Congress Party and a star campaigner, was a close friend of a known gangster in Uttar Pradesh, Atik Ahmad. To which the Congress says that Pratapgarhi is the president of the minority cell. What's wrong if he is on the list of star campaigners and that he campaigns for the party in the state? The BJP then claimed that Pratapgarhi had called Atik and his brother as his gurus. To which the Congress says that Pratapgarhi hasn't committed any crime. You can have pictures with anyone who's in the public domain. Atik Ahmad, yes, was a gangster, but was also a member of parliament too in the past. The BJP then alleged that Atik and Ashraf attended Pratapgarhi's events multiple times, and there are photographs to attest to that fact. To which the Congress said that Pratapgarhi is a noted poet. Pictures like these are not a surprise. In fact, they also went on to point out to the pictures that Atik Ahmad has had with several other politicians in Uttar Pradesh, even when he was part of the Samajwadi Party. So this discourse has now reached Karnataka. It is only perhaps going to escalate as we are going to be seeing campaigning in fever pitch. It's star campaigners of the Congress versus star campaigners of the BJP. Ritu, my colleague, joining us for more on this. And Ritu, one of the star campaigners of the BJP is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath. So this mention of Atik Ahmad and that narrative is something that perhaps is only going to escalate.
Very true. This, in fact, is just going to escalate in the poll-bound Karnataka. You see, tomorrow, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah too is going to be here in the Karnataka for a two-day visit. And there, again, Amit Shah too, likely that he would also stress upon this particular point. And, of course, that's how the escalation is going to be, because now that the BJP has come down heavily on the Congress over their star campaigners list that the Congress released of 40 members. And now they are raising a question that why is there a need to include someone like Imran, in fact, who was being seen involving in an anti-national alleged statements as well, and also his close connection with the Atik as well. So why is there a need to disturb the peace in the Karnataka? And it's the Congress party all this while who had gone on to attack BJP, asking that, you know, why the peace in the state has to be restored. While that has been the demand of the Congress, then why is that the Congress party is including someone like him as the star campaigner? So yes, that's the whole reason that we're getting to see things just escalating here in the poll-bound Karnataka. But meanwhile, you see, the state leaders of Congress, in fact, have not come out to speak about this whole issue openly. What they are saying is that it's the High Command who takes decision, who makes such a decision, and one should get the clarity from the High Command itself. So that's the safe game that the Congress is playing here in the Karnataka. But yes, all this while that the Congress got the chance to attack the BJP in the state and all small issues, now BJP coming into the forefront and ensuring that they monitor all the developments of the Congress party very closely and ensure that they get a chance to keep attacking them till the election gets over and things work out in their favor. So yes, this the war of words are just going to escalate in the coming days as well.
Absolutely. Do keep a track of that, because the war of words is only going to escalate come election day there in Karnataka. We are shifting focus now to the state of Uttar Pradesh, but the narrative and the name of gangster Atik Ahmad continues to ring there as well. And the investigation in Uttar Pradesh into the murder of Atik Ahmad and his brother is now widening. Sources are telling your channel that one of the accused has told the police that the Turkish-made pistol which was given to him was done so by a gangster, Jitendra Gogi, who died in the Delhi courtroom shooting in 2021. The Uttar Pradesh police is also now looking at a narco-analysis test. They'll of course have to get permission from the courts to conduct a narco-analysis on all these three accused. They claim that several of the revelations that have been made during interrogation by these three do not really line up, which is why they need a narco-analysis test to corroborate the claims that they are making. Meanwhile, the hunt for Atik Ahmad's wife, Shaista Parveen, has also intensified. There have been raids that were conducted since yesterday, both in Prayagraj and in Kaushambi. She is still in the wind. She is believed to be the one who has taken forward Atik Ahmad's entire empire and that of illegal businesses. The SIT and FSL team were at the crime spot just a short while ago, where the murder took place outside the hospital. They recreated the crime scene. There was an investigation that was done by the FSL team as well. The report is going to be part of the larger investigation.
और ये देखिए सामने दो व्यक्ति जिनको अतीक और अशरफ बनाया गया है वो और आप देखिए आपको नजर आएगा किस तरीके से पीछे से शूटर अब धीरे धीरे वो व्यक्ति जिसने आईडी कार्ड लगा रखा है वो शूटर बना है, उसके हाथ में पिस्टल है। ये विजुअल बेहद इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये दोनों बाइट दे रहे हैं, सामने मीडिया कर्मी बनकर एसटीएफ के लोग खड़े हैं और वो जिसने आईडी कार्ड पहन रखा है वो जो शूटर बना हुआ है, जो मुख्य आरोपी है, वो आईडी कार्ड जिसने पहना हुआ है, हाथ में उसके गन है। और अब आप देखिए किस तरीके से सीन का रिक्रिएशन हो रहा है, फोटोग्राफ्स तमाम चीजें यहाँ पर की गई हैं। ये विजुअल बेहद इंपॉर्टेंट है। क्राइम सीन का रिक्रिएशन किया जा रहा है इस वक्त। पुलिस वाले दो व्यक्तियों को लेकर जो अशरफ और अतीक बने हैं, जिनको अशरफ और अतीक बनाया गया है, सर पर गमछा बांधा है, कुछ उसी लहजे में व्हाइट कपड़े पहन रखे हैं और उनके आगे ही देखिए किस तरीके से ढेर कर दिया आरोपियों को, लेकिन परफेक्ट दोबारा से ये प्रोसेस रिपीट की जाएगी। अब मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि परफेक्शन नहीं आया है। और ये देखिए किस तरीके से गोली मार रहे हैं, यानी कि यही जो सीन रिक्रिएशन है यही परफेक्शन के साथ किया जा रहा है। और वो आरोपी जिसको बनाया गया है वो लगातार गोलीबारी कर रहा है और दोनों जो अतीक और अशरफ बने थे वो गिर गए हैं। फोटोज खींची जा रही है लगातार। दूसरी तरफ दूसरा आरोपी गोलियां बरसा रहा है, 3 आरोपी गोली बरसा रहे हैं और पूरी तरीके से सीन में परफेक्शन दिया गया है, रिक्रिएशन किया जा रहा है। पूरी कोशिश ये है कि जो आरोपी हैं वो उनका जो रवैया था उस दिन वो सेम रहे, ताकि फोटोज हैं जो साक्ष्य हैं वो बने रहें। तो सामने इस वक्त आप देखिए पकड़ लिया है और किस तरीके से पिस्टल कहां पर गिरी थी, क्या हुआ था, सेम चीज रिपीट की गई है। यानी कि सीन रिक्रिएशन का जो दौर था वो शुरू हो गया है। पिस्टल रख ली और अब इन आरोपियों को पकड़ लिया गया है। कुछ इस तरीके का लम्हा, कुछ इस तरीके के उस दिन पर क्राइम सीन हुए थे और उसी को आज रिपीट किया गया है। कुछ इस तरीके से दोनों आरोपी ढेर हो गए थे उस दिन। अब तीनों आरोपी पकड़ लिए गए थे, लेकिन आज सीन रिक्रिएशन किया गया है। और देखिए किस तरीके से इन तीनों शूटर्स को पकड़ लिया गया है। एक घिरा हुआ है, 2 खड़े हुए हैं और ये जो अतीक और अशरफ थे दोनों गिर गए थे। कुछ उसी तरीके से सेम ये दोनों व्यक्ति लिटाए गए हैं और पूरा सीन रिक्रिएशन इस वक्त यहाँ पर हो चुका है।
That recreation has been done. The SIT is investigating as to what exactly transpired and if there was negligence on part of the police. Remember, so far over 20 policemen have been suspended. There are some that have been transferred out as well. Accountability is being fixed because the Yogi Adityanath government is in the dock, especially as far as the opposition goes. They have been slamming the state government for not securing high-profile convicts like Atik and his brother and for allowing such kind of murder to take place in the first place. Pranchu, my colleague, joining us for more details on this, of what exactly the probe is and where it stands at the moment. Do we have a timeline, Pranchu, as to till when this SIT is expected to finish their investigation?
Well, see, there are at least 3 probes which are happening in this case. One is, of course, the Judicial Commission, which for the first time visited the crime scene today. It clearly has 2 months of time and it is headed by a retired High Court judge. As far as the other major SIT, that is the SIT constituted by DGP of UP is concerned, it too also will be looking at the larger aspects of the crime, about the role and the complexity or the laxity of the police team. The main SIT, which is actually probing this crime, this murder of Atik and Ashraf, that is the Prayagraj Commissioner's SIT, which was constituted by him. And that SIT today started with the recreation of the scene. That SIT is also, having the police custody remand of all the 3 assailants. It is questioning them. So the focus here is on one, to get the actual information out of interrogation of the 3 accused. So far, the accused, they are giving some bizarre stories, the stories which are clearly unbelievable stories to the investigators. For example, they are saying that they got these weapons from a Don in May 2021. The Don who was operational in NCR and Delhi region, but was himself killed in an encounter in December of 2021. So, they are probably trying to misguide, lead the cops to a dead end because someone who gave them weapons is no longer in the world to be questioned. The other point of interest is that who gave them this actual intel. The assailants claim that they tried to kill Atik also on 14th of April when he was brought to the CDM's court. But then again, this argument seems to be very weak because the manner in which the audacity with which this crime was committed, the comfort with the firearms these assailants had, all that indicates that there is probably a common missing link. That someone is there who brought this team together, gave them logistical and intel support to execute the crime, and therefore the hunt is on for that missing godfather. The other part is collecting the circumstantial evidences and evidences on the ground. For that, the crime recreation was done today, and the details of that crime recreation have now been shared by the FSL.
Yes.
FSL will prepare its report, and that report will further help the police in its investigation.
Right, like Pranchu was pointing out, there are 3 different investigations that are on, not only to find out who these 3 people are and what their common link is, but also if there was any negligence on part of the policemen that were present there when Atik and his brother were taken for that medical checkup to the hospital. But Pranchu, it's not just about the investigation into Atik Ahmad's murder. The investigation is also taking place on another front as far as Atik Ahmad himself goes, which is why the hunt for his wife is now gathering steam. Who exactly has taken over after Atik Ahmad? What exactly happens to the empire of his illegal businesses? That is also something that the state is looking into.
Oh, yes, very important. See, that point is really very important. I mean, if you just go by the numbers that have been shared by the state government, 1,169 crore worth of, properties and assets belonging to Atik, they have already been held accountable for. If I'm not wrong, around 700 crores of these properties have been, demolished. Another 400 crores of such properties in terms of lands and accounts and other cash money that has already been seized. Now, Atik, ironically, in his last affidavit before the Election Commission in 2019, said that he only has the net assets of 25 crores. So already the government has, unearthed around 400 more times of his declared wealth. So Shaista's role becomes important here because now see, Atik is no more, Ashraf is no more, Atik's son Asad is no more. So the only person surviving in Atik's family, also, a senior operative of the gang is Shaista Parveen, and only she can actually lead to all those white-collared men, contractors, builders, maybe politicians who have actually helped Atik siphoning off his money, helped him laundering his money. See, everyone who knows how mafia works clearly knows that, for all this ill-gotten wealth to digest, you need a team of white-collared people who can actually, pump in your money into the system. And Atik was also doing through proxy of white-collared people. So I think only Shaista knows about them, and therefore Shaista's interrogation is very important, not only in terms of Umesh Pal murder case conspiracy, but also in terms of, trying to gauge the exact, extent of Atik's financial empire, because reports are, really very alarming. Sources say that he has financial interest in cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, and even, offshores in Gulf countries and also in some of the Southeast Asian countries.
Right, so all of that needs to be investigated. Atik Ahmad's wife, though, still remains in the wind. For the moment, Pranchu, thank you so much for getting us the latest. Now, the hunt is on, like I said, to track down Shaista Ambar, who is Atik Ahmad's wife, another accused in the Umesh Pal murder case as well. There were raids that were conducted in both Prayagraj and in Kaushambi. Take a look at this report.
थाना संदीपन घाट क्षेत्र के पलाना और उसके आसपास के गांव, कछार और खेतों में, बागों, बगीचों में आज एक सर्च ऑपरेशन हम लोगों ने चलाया था, जो उच्च अधिकारियों के निर्देश पे था। अपराधियों के छुपे होने की सूचना थी, सारी चीजें उसमें इंक्लूड है, तो वो दोनों नजरिए से हमारे हाथ में।
Now, Umesh Pal was murdered in broad daylight in February. His killers are either arrested or have been encountered. There are some that are still remaining in the wind, like that of Gudu Muslim. The hunt for that particular accused in this case is also currently underway. Listen in to what BSP MLA Raju Pal's wife had to say about Atik's murder, about his reign of terror that has been witnessed in the state of Uttar Pradesh for decades together.
देखिए, श्राप की बात नहीं कही जा सकती है, क्योंकि देखिए आज जैसे आज उनका परिवार, क्योंकि उनकी पत्नी अच्छी तरह से समझ सकती होंगी, क्योंकि जो मेरे साथ 18 साल पहले हो गया है, आज उनके साथ हुआ है।
जैसी आपको खबर मिली, दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था?
देखिए एक इंसान होने के नाते, जो मानवीय आधार के रूप में मैं कहूँ, तो देखिए हत्या तो हत्या होती है, हत्या तो अच्छी नहीं होती है, मगर हत्या किसी का भी वो अच्छा नहीं होता है। मगर जो अतीक अहमद के जो कृत्य थे, जो कार्य प्रणाली थी, जो जैसा उनका विचार था, तो कहीं ना कहीं जो उन्होंने अगल बगल अपने जो बनाया था, बोया था, उस दिन उसका रिजल्ट था। देखिए न्याय मिल गया है, क्योंकि न्याय के लिए तो मैं लड़ी रही थी, और आप समझ लीजिए कि दुनिया हार गया होगा, मगर मैं नहीं हारने वाली।
The crackdown on Mafia Raj in Uttar Pradesh continues, and the lens is not just on Atik Ahmad and his gangs. Mukhtar Ansari is another such gangster who is under the radar. Uttar Pradesh police have launched a massive crackdown to nab Mukhtar Ansari's wife now. A reward of 50,000 rupees has been declared on Afshan Ansari, who is absconding. Earlier, there was a reward of 25,000 on her, but that has now been upgraded. Remember, ED had registered a case of money laundering against Mukhtar Ansari, but in the investigation it was found that his wife has the highest share in Mukhtar's company. ED summoned Afshan in the case, but she did not come to give her statement. Mukhtar Ansari, of course, remains in jail, which is why the hunt for his wife now has been escalated.
दिनांक 19/4/2023 को पुलिस अधीक्षक मऊ द्वारा थाना दक्षिणी टोला में पंजीकृत मुकदमा अपराध संख्या 20/2022 धारा 3(1) गैंगस्टर एक्ट में वांछित अभियुक्ता आफसा अंसारी पत्नी मुख्तार अंसारी निवासी दर्जी मोहल्ला यूसुफपुर मोहम्मदाबाद जिला गाजीपुर की गिरफ्तारी के ऊपर 25,000 रुपए का इनाम घोषित किया गया है।
Pranshu, my colleague, now joining us for more details. Pranshu, where exactly does this case stand as far as Afshan Ansari is concerned?
Well, see, there are multiple, there are volley of cases against Mukhtar and his family members, and at the moment, Mukhtar Ansari, his son Ashraf, all are behind the bars. The elder brother, of course, Afzal Ansari is the member of parliament on a BSP ticket. As far as Mukhtar's wife is concerned, see, the basic charge is that, in the large financial empire which Mukhtar has created through his criminal activities, the family members, including wife, plays a very substantial role in terms of being stakeholders, shareholders in multiple companies. And this is that the case relates to, basically usurping the properties via threat, taking over certain prime land via threat. These are basically the nature of cases in which Mukhtar Ansari's wife is also an accomplice. She has been made an accused. And since she had been, running away from the law, not appearing before the cops for questioning, that's the reason why first the prize money of 25,000 was declared on her, and now that prize money has been enhanced to 50,000. So clearly, it seems that, on one hand, Atik's financial empire is on the hit list or on the target list of the Yogi government, and at the same time, it's also about chasing and trying to get a real sense of Mukhtar and his financial clout, his business empire, and of course, hold him accountable for the crimes which he has committed. And I think in that sense, the fact that his wife has now also been declared as an absconder with 50,000 reward money will further tighten the noose around the Mukhtar gang.
Yes, so there's a crackdown on gangsters that continues in Uttar Pradesh when Yogi Adityanath, the chief minister, had in the assembly claimed mitti mein mila denge. This is the implementation, says the state government. For the moment, Pranshu, thank you so much. Time for a quick break here on this edition, but there's lots lined up for you on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Last 1 year, for 52 weeks, we've been #1 across time bands, across our different data points, across different viewer segments. The fact that for the last entire year we have dominated the ratings, there is no parallel to this. 1 year of non-stop, undefeated, unbeaten #1. I think it's a great testament to the young team here at CNN News 18. This is great validation for us and for this young team here to continue on this path and to continue bringing you stories that we believe are making a difference to your lives.
$3,000 people are stuck in Sudan. You talk of only 31 people? How parochial can you get? How parochial and how narrow-minded can you be? A Congress and All India party is now trying to narrow itself down to a regional party and behaving like a DMK. Karnataka is the most cosmopolitan state, and the state has been welcoming all. When you talk of only 31 people or 3,000, and then you make a public tweet giving the location of the person, is that right? Government has done, every government in the past, this government in its own term has done wonderful evacuation, whether Operation Sankat Mochan, Operation Ganga, Operation Rahat, where even foreigners have been rescued. Do you think lack of media attention means lack of government attention? So trying to say that because of that tweet, suddenly government woke up, I think I'm not understood. They have got thousands and thousands of people, a record number of people evacuated. When you talk of only one kind of caste, one kind of people, it is nothing but pure parochial politics.
All right. Aishwarya Mahadev, why reduce it just to parochial identities just because there is an election coming up? Had that election not been there, would Siddaramaiah have publicly tweeted about this?
Did Congress speak about this when the earlier operations took place? No, they welcomed the government.
Okay. Let Aishwarya respond, yeah.
We don't need any lessons on any evacuation programs because from the Gulf War and post that also the UP has done its responsibility. When you talk about a parochial mindset, sir, I will not even engage in that, because if Mr. Siddaramaiah had not spoken about these 31 Kannadigas who are part of his state, who are his people, would you have even known about the plight of the thousands of others? You would not. Would you have even made that contact with them? You would have not. And this is not the first time. Twitter has been an asset for people in order of communication from the time of Ms. Sushma Swaraj onwards. A lot of these responses and these sort of requests have come up, and the government, when it's convenient for them, they say we did this, and the power of social media. Okay. But when an opposition leader raises the voice for his people, it becomes parochial.
All right.
And so let me remind you, during COVID, what happened? It was each to their own. It was every state for themselves. It was migrants from UP, Bihar, migrants from here, there, whatever, while the central government stayed blank. While Karnataka also offered shelter, Karnataka looked after its own. I do not believe at any point you talk about this larger idea of a parochial mindset, but tell me, would you have voluntarily have offered up
Ratan
the fact that something
final word. I got to wrap up after that.
The people of what is happening?
Yeah, let him respond.
Absolutely not. This
Final
is
word, Ratan Sharda. I got to wrap up after that, Aishwarya. Thank you. Please yield. Yeah, thank you.
The first bit of Siddaramaiah, no Congress leader has spoken of all the 3,000 people. And again, to believe that, because I said every party has done its bit for evacuation, and do you think that government is sleeping till you make a tweet? This is how the government works? Sorry. Government eyes and ears are always open. They have evacuated people as and when, with complete courage, complete commitment. And you keep on speaking for last press only of 31 Kannadigas. That is the problem. 3,000 include Kannadiga. Now, for example, CNN didn't say which state this particular person was on the panel. They said Indian. So what's the harm in that? So that is why I say problem is your over propagandization of every issue, and that is what is going to hurt you, not the government or India.
All right. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. I want to first go across to Prabhu, who is an Indian national who's stranded in Sudan. I'll also be joined in a moment by Aishwarya Mahadev of the Congress. Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher and author, is also joining us. Prabhu, first things first. आपका स्थिति अभी कैसा है? आपका जो डेली नीड्स हैं, आप वो कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हैं? कहाँ पे फंसे हैं और आप कितने लोग हैं जो फंसे हैं सुडान में?
खाने के लिए तो हम लोग जो इस घर में आए थे, रेंट ले लिया था, तो जब भी हमारे पास ना दुकान खुली हुई थी तो रोज लाके खाना बना के खाते थे, दुकान सामने ही थी, तो हम स्टॉक नहीं किया था, हमने रोज लाने का खाना पका के खाने का ये काम करते थे हम लोग जी। तो हमें कोई मैसेज नहीं मिली है ऐसा कुछ यहाँ फायर होने वाला है, तो हम कोई मैसेज नहीं मिली हम स्टॉक करने के लिए। तो एक साथ ही ऐसा फायर होने लगा तो हम इमरजेंसी पूरा डोर लॉक करना पड़ा, तो हम अंदर ही लॉक होना पड़ा। तो बाहर का सिचुएशन मालूम होने के लिए हमको 4 से 5 दिन लग गया
जी।
तो हमारे पास ना जो भी बचे हुए थे जो अनाज उसको ही खाए, पानी पिए। 4 दिन तक हमने खाना तो नहीं खाया था, हमने जो पानी था टोटी में पानी था कुआं में, वो पानी ही पिया सब लोग ने, और बाद में पानी खत्म हो जाने के बाद बहुत परेशानी हुई हमको।
प्रभु ये बताइए कि सरकार की तरफ से कोई कम्युनिकेशन है?
नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, इन सबके नाम मोदी 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 कैसे? ये सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 मोदी।
In a big setback for Rahul Gandhi, the Surat court today dismissed his plea to stay the conviction and a 2-year sentence in a criminal defamation case that came to the fore from a Surat lower court a few weeks ago. This means that Rahul Gandhi cannot be reinstated as a member of parliament. CNN News 18 has accessed the order copy in which the court has observed that no irreparable damage was done to Rahul Gandhi if the conviction is instated. Rahul Gandhi had argued that the trial court treated him harshly and that the trial was unfair, but all those arguments have now been dismissed by the Sessions Court. Rahul Gandhi, meanwhile, of course, has legal recourse. He can now approach the High Court. Whether or not that happens immediately, that's something that we will have to wait and watch out for. But the political fireworks over this are only escalating. The BJP attacking the Congress party, calling this order a slap in the face of the Gandhi family's arrogance. Remember, Rahul Gandhi lost his Lok Sabha seat after being convicted in this 2009 case. Let's now take you through what the court observed while dismissing the petition of Rahul Gandhi. The court said that you cannot dispute that the appellant, which is Rahul Gandhi in this case, was a member of parliament. He was also the president of a second largest party. They then went on to say that looking at his stature, he should have been more careful with the kind of words he used. Any defamatory words are sufficient enough to cause mental agony. That's another observation that the court made while dictating the order. Comments that Rahul Gandhi made would have definitely caused harm to the complainant's reputation and must have caused him mental agony, is what the court said. They also went on to say that Rahul Gandhi's team failed in demonstrating that by not staying conviction, there would be irreversible damage that would be caused. So there wasn't enough proof of why this conviction needs to be stayed, is what the court said. They also then said that the appellant hasn't made any case to suspend conviction recorded against him. So there was absolutely no case that was built by the legal team of Rahul Gandhi, which is why his petition was thrown out as claimed by the Sessions Court. Listen in to what the complainant in this particular case had to say, and of course the legal team of Rahul Gandhi.
हमारे एडवोकेट से हमको जो माहिती मिली है कि जो राहुल गांधी ने निचली अदालत में जो फैसला था उसके सामने अपील की थी, उस अपील में दलील के बाद आज जज साहब ने फैसला सुनाया है और मैसेज इतना मुझे मिल गया है कि श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी की जो अर्जी थी वो कोर्ट ने रिजेक्ट कर दी है। अब आगे देखते हैं क्या प्रोसीजर है, जजमेंट है।
उनके पास व्यापक ऐसे पावर्स हैं जिनके अंतर्गत ये जो गलत कारणों से गलत कानूनी आधार पर दो निर्णय आए हैं उनको चुनौती दी जाएगी और हमें आशा और विश्वास है कि जल्द से जल्द ये सही की जाएगी, गलती को ठीक किया जाएगा न्यायिक कानूनी रूप से। सीधा देखने पे भी झूठा और बेमानी दिखता है। जो कारण दिए गए हैं इस निर्णय में वो बिल्कुल संदिग्ध हैं, गलत हैं, कानूनी रूप से मैं कह रहा हूं।
Rahul Gandhi has not behaved responsibly as a member of parliament, and that's the reason why in fact his conviction could not be stayed.
Yes, court has observed that in his order that Rahul Gandhi is member of parliament. He has to be very careful in his words. Although in public meetings he has defamed the Modi and Modi Samaj, we have proved that facts before honorable trial court by documentary evidence, by oral evidence, by electronic evidence, and court has also considered the same, that Purnesh Modi is absolutely a aggrieved person and he has all local standing to file this complaint. Right now I have not gone through with the whole order, but we minutely gone through the order of Honorable Sessions Court below Exhibit 5, that is stay of conviction application. We just gone through the upper forum of that order. That court has dismissed their application.
How do you react to all of these observations that have been made?
There is no question of reaction. This is all are the legal submissions and the legal finding given by the Honorable Court. So whatever the order is passed by the court, that is appropriate, that is always one has to respect, and that order is quite just, legal and proper. Whatever I would say today, quite possible that may be put otherwise in any of the court of law. Yet the matter is go to the High Court, as all of you have said. I am not aware whether they are going to file appeal or anything. So in that case, any statement made by the lawyer or anything may not be misused. Therefore, it is better. What is part of the record is already part of the record. We have put up that what kind of things have happened at the time of filing of the appeal, at the time of delivery of the judgment.
What were your counter arguments? What did you say before the court actually to counter this submission?
They argued that the complaint is not mentionable because Mr. Purnesh Modi is not the aggrieved person. He answered that they are aggrieved person relying on the law related to the defamation under section 419 and 500. That is accepted by the magistrate also and now by the appellate court also.
Ananya, my colleague, joining us from Surat. He was tracking all the developments in court there. Ananya, what's the next course of action for Rahul Gandhi? He, of course, can now approach the High Court, but is that going to happen today or in the next 24 hours?
Well, Poonam, this is an order that has come at a very bad time for Rahul Gandhi, because now he cannot even, if the conviction is not stayed, he will not be able to contest the 2024 elections. Neither will he be able to restore his status of the Member of Parliament. Now, whether Rahul Gandhi would be challenging this order today or tomorrow is something that is still a skeptic, and the Congress sources are actually dwelling upon it. The legal team of the Congress party, led by Senior Advocate Abhishek Manu Singh, is dwelling upon it. The order has just come in today, so they would be analyzing the order. They would be, filing a proper appeal to it, and then only something would be done in this particular case. Whether Rahul actually goes to file this particular appeal is something that we'll have to wait and watch. And there is another option available with Rahul Gandhi, but that is a very slightly difficult option, that is to approach the Supreme Court directly by way of a special leave petition. But the problem there is that, the Supreme Court in such cases actually sends the matter back to the High Court. So whether Rahul would be jumping the gun or would be actually going by the whole legal ladder and going to the Gujarat High Court first is something that is a matter of time. The Congress legal team is actually looking into it, and as soon as we get certain kind of clarity, then they would actually be approaching either of the two forums in this particular case. But definitely the order has scathing observations against Rahul Gandhi, saying that he had a status of an MP. He was the former president of the second largest party in the country, and then also his words were such that they could have hampered or caused mental agony to the people there. He should have been more responsible, and any kind of irreplaceable or irreversible damage would not be caused, even if his parliamentary membership has been dismissed under Section 8(3) of the Representatives of the People's Act. Poonam.
Right, so those were the observations that were made by the court while they dismissed the application that was made by Rahul Gandhi and his legal team to stay his conviction. For the moment, Ananya, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. We're shifting focus now to some breaking news that's coming in, and the pilot versus Gehlot fight is only escalating, because now Sachin Pilot has met with Ram Prasad Meena's family, who allegedly committed suicide by accusing a sitting minister in Rajasthan of harassment. Pilot has demanded a free and fair investigation and justice for the victim.
करनी चाहिए ताकि लोगों के मन में विश्वास कायम रहे। जो व्यवस्था हमारे प्रदेश में है और देश में है, उस व्यवस्था से इन लोगों का मन हटना नहीं चाहिए। इसलिए सभी एविडेंस को, प्रमाणों को, सर्कमस्टेंसेस को सबसे बात करने के बाद एक जांच गठित हो और न्याय लोगों को मिले, इस परिवार को न्याय मिले, ये हम सब सामूहिक रूप से मांग रहे हैं।
पावरफुल कैबिनेट मंत्री है, कैबिनेट मंत्री का नाम आ रहा है, डर रहा है परिवार, पीड़ित परिवार रहते हुए जांच हो पाएगी। पावरफुल कैबिनेट मंत्री का नाम है, तो
देखिए हर व्यक्ति की अपनी एक जिम्मेदारियां होती हैं, क्या उनको करना नहीं करना, और मैं कौन होता हूं कुछ कहने वाला। मैं तो इतना ही चाहता हूं कि न्याय मिले और पीड़ित परिवार, वो किसी भी जाति का हो, किसी भी धर्म का हो, किसी भी समुदाय का हो, अमीर हो, गरीब हो, पीड़ित परिवार को न्याय मिलना चाहिए। हम सबकी एक सामूहिक कोशिश होनी चाहिए और न्याय मिलता हुआ दिखना भी चाहिए। जांच प्रभावित ना हो, कोई दबाव उनके ऊपर ना आए और जांच निष्पक्ष हो, ये भी जिम्मेदारी हम सब लोगों की है।
सर, पीड़ित परिवार से आप मिले हैं, पीड़ित परिवार ने डर का माहौल जताया है कि डर लग रहा है उन्हें, पूछताछ कुछ नहीं हुई है
नहीं, ये सभी परिवार वाले बोल रहे हैं कि उनको आशंका है, क्योंकि वो गरीब परिवार से आते हैं और कहीं दबाव उन पर पड़ रहा होगा। इसलिए इसमें तो तुरंत प्रभाव से मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा कि डिले क्यों हो रहा है। इसमें जांच होनी चाहिए और जो सबूत सामने आ रहे हैं, जो विटनेसेस की बात है, जो इनके स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, वो रिकॉर्ड करके कार्रवाई, अगर कार्रवाई होती हुई दिखेगी तो इनके मन में कुछ भरोसा जगेगा कि न्याय हमको मिलेगा। और मैं समझता हूं कि किसी पर आरोप लगाना बड़ा आसान है, मैं भी किसी के पक्ष विपक्ष नहीं बोल रहा हूं, लेकिन जिसकी मौत हुई है उसके परिजन जो डिमांड कर रहे हैं, उन मांगों को पूरा करना हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है।
भवानी, my colleague, joining us for more details on this. भवानी, काफी गंभीर आरोप लगे हैं। महेश जोशी जो एमएलए है और मिनिस्टर है राजस्थान के, सचिन पायलट गए थे मिलने पीड़ित के परिवार से जो धरने पे बैठे हुए हैं अगेंस्ट द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट।
देखिए, बहुत बड़ी बात है, क्योंकि जो बातें बोली है, ये 4 दिन पहले खुदकुशी की थी, और अभी तक परिवार उनका शव लेकर बैठा हुआ, अंतिम संस्कार नहीं कर रहा। मांग ये कर रहा है महेश जोशी की गिरफ्तारी हो, जो मिनिस्टर है, क्योंकि महेश जोशी को उस जो ये केस दर्ज हुआ एफआईआर, उसमें एफआईआर में भी नाम है, उसके बाद में राजस्थान सरकार ने पूरे केस को सीआईडी को सौंप दिया। और अब आज जब सचिन पायलट पहुंच गए तो सरकार पर दबाव और बढ़ गया। और सचिन पायलट ने 3 बातें कही है, वो अपना आप में बड़ी है, ये पॉलिटिकल टारगेट है बहुत बड़ा। सचिन पायलट ने कहा कि जांच ऐसी होनी चाहिए, निष्पक्ष होनी चाहिए, जांच में दबाव नहीं होना चाहिए और कार्रवाई होती हुई दिखनी चाहिए और जो सबूत है उन पर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। तो अब दबाव किसका है, ये सबसे बड़ा सवाल। इशारा इसी की तरफ वो इशारा कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि महेश जोशी अभी मंत्री पद पर हैं, तो क्या उन्होंने सीधे तौर पर हालांकि मांग नहीं की, लेकिन इशारा इस तौर पर कर रहे हैं कि ये दबाव हटना चाहिए। दबाव का मतलब क्या महेश जोशी मंत्री पद से इस्तीफा दे, सीधे सीधे मांग नहीं की, लेकिन अशोक गहलोत पर दबाव बढ़ा दिया है इस पूरे मामले में। और जो पहले से अशोक गहलोत और सचिन पायलट के बीच में जो टकराव चल रहा था, तब कहीं न कहीं आज जब मिलकर आए हैं उसके बाद में और जो मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत के सामने परेशानी बढ़ सकती है, क्योंकि एजिटेशन भी चल रहा है।
जी, how the state government responds to this, how Ashok Gehlot responds to this, and whether or not this causes more concerns for the Congress party in Rajasthan, that remains to be seen. But Bhavani, for the moment, thank you so much. And speaking of troubles for the Congress party, we're shifting focus to Assam now, where a show cause notice has been served by the party to Ankita Datta, one of its leaders who had alleged harassment by the Indian Youth Congress President B.V. Srinivas for those allegations that she's been making against the party's inaction and the allegations against B.V. Srinivas himself. For that, a show cause notice has now been issued by the Assam Pradesh Congress. Preeti, my colleague, joining us for more details on this. What is it that the party is now seeking from Ankita Datta, Preeti?
Yes, actually, Ankita and the senior party leaders of Assam Pradesh Congress Committee, they set for a meeting 2 days ago when she actually raised this issue that she has been harassed and she has been discriminated for being a woman in the party. And then it was decided that the party will take her problems and they will try to solve it after quite some time, because now the elections are going on. And she was asked repetitively not to go and report it to the police or take any legal action. But today it was known that Ankita Datta has already she has already went up to Dispur police office Dispur police station, where she has filed a case against Srinivas, for which she has now been served a show cause notice by the APCC president, and he has stated that she will have to tell why, even after all this talk between the senior party leaders and her going on, when she was already stated that she should not move to any kind of legal action as they are going to solve it in the party, she has gone to the police and reported a case against senior party leader, the president of Youth Congress, Srinivas.
Yes, and a 24-hour deadline has been set by the Pradesh Congress there. Do keep a track of what the response is. But for the moment, Preeti, thank you so much. With that, we're slipping into a quick break here on this edition. Back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Last 1 year, for 52 weeks, we've been #1 across time bands, across our different data points, across different viewer segments. The fact that for the last entire year we have dominated the ratings, there is no parallel to this. 1 year of non-stop, undefeated, unbeaten #1. I think it's a great testament to the young team here at CNN News 18. This is great validation for us and for this young team here to continue on this path and to continue bringing you stories that we believe are making a difference to your lives.
ना दुकान खुली हुई थी तो रोज लाके खाना बना के खाते थे, दुकान सामने ही थी, तो हम स्टार्ट नहीं किया था, हमने रोज लाने का खाना पका के खाने का ये काम करते थे हम लोग
जी।
तो हमें कोई मैसेज नहीं मिली है ऐसा कुछ यहाँ फायर होने वाला है, तो हम कोई मैसेज नहीं मिली हम स्टार्ट करने के लिए, तो एक साथ ही ऐसा फायर होने लगा, तो हम इमरजेंसी पूरा डोर लॉक करना पड़ा, तो हम अंदर ही लॉक होना पड़ा। तो बाहर का सिचुएशन मालूम होने के लिए हमको 4 से 5 दिन लग गया
जी।
तो हमारे पास ना जो भी बचे हुए थे, जो अनाज उसको ही खाए, पानी पिए। 4 दिन तक हमने खाना तो नहीं खाया था। हमने जो पानी था टोटी में पानी था कुआं में, वो
हाँ।
पानी ही पिया सब लोग ने। और बाद में पानी खत्म हो जाने के बाद बहुत परेशानी हुई हमको।
प्रभु ये बताइए
और
कि
परसों
सरकार की तरफ
10
से कोई कम्युनिकेशन है आया है आपके पास? किसी ने रीच आउट किया है? किसी ने ये कहा है कि आपको वहां से इवैक्यूएट करेंगे? और अगर ऐसा मैसेज आएगा तो क्या आप वहां से निकलना चाहेंगे या आप वहीं रहना चाहेंगे जब तक ये वॉर खत्म ना हो जाए?
अभी तो ये चूज करने के लिए हमारे पास तो कोई आइडियोलॉजी नहीं है, क्योंकि हमको मदद मिली नहीं है। यहाँ पे किसी से भी मदद नहीं मिली है। अभी इसको चूज करने का हमारे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, यहाँ रहेंगे या इंडिया जाएंगे।
ओके।
हमारे को कोई समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, क्योंकि हम बाहर जा नहीं सकते, फायरिंग हुआ है। सरकार की तरफ से हमारे को मदद मिल जाएगी, इंडिया बुलाया जाएगा तो हम आने के लिए तैयार है।
आप कितने लोग हो प्रभु? आप कितने लोग हो और कहाँ, मतलब सुदान में अलग अलग जगहों पे फंसे हैं या एक ही जगह फंसे हैं? कितने लोग हैं आप?
स्टेट है कर्नाटक, तो वहां से मेरी समझ में, मेरे को जितना मालूम है 700-800 लोग फंसे हुए हैं सुडान में, पूरे सुडान में।
ओके।
700-800 हजार लोग के आर पार फंसे हुए हैं।
Okay. All right.
हर
Prabhu, बहुत बहुत
अलग-अलग
धन्यवाद.
इलाके में है।
He is saying 700 to 800, but officially the number that we know, at least from the state of Karnataka, is 31. But let me open this up to both Aishwarya Mahadev and to Ratan Sharda. Aishwarya Mahadev, the contention that's being made by Dr. Jaishankar, the MEA folks, and of course people like Tejashwi Surya is this government has rescued stranded Indians from Yemen, from Libya, from Ukraine. So then why are you politicizing this just because there is an election? Let the government and its agencies do their job in evacuating these Indian citizens from Sudan. How do you respond to that?
Good evening, Zaka. I think first and foremost, these Indians there, or the Kannadigas also that we've highlighted, have been there for the past 4 or 5 days without food and water. It was yesterday when the former Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, tweeted and saying these are vulnerable communities that have traveled there and they are stuck. Kindly help them. That was when the focus and the attention shifted towards it. That was when the Ministry of External Affairs and of course Mr. Jaishankar with his appalling sort of response came out to tell us that these things were happening. But please tell me, how much media attention was on this situation before that? One. Second, how many people had established contact to reassure these people stranded there? Two. And third, is it really wrong for a former head of a state to ask the central government for help and assistance for his people who are stranded abroad? There is no politicization. My former CM did not say a war was completely stopped, as a former BJP president did, saying a complete war was stopped to bring back people. This is not politicization. It is appalling that a man, when asked to do his job, turns around and tells a former chief minister of a state that this is appalling. You are politicizing this issue. There is no politicization.
So let me ask Ratan Sharda, the job of any politician, whether it's chief minister or former chief minister or minister, whatever it is, the job of any politician is to respond to his or her constituents. Constituents reach out and then...
Welcome back. News coming in from Gujarat now, where all the accused in the 2002 Naroda Gam massacre case have been acquitted by a special court in Ahmedabad. Remember, this case pertains to the killing of 11 people back in 2002 in Naroda Gam in Gujarat.
અરે નથી આ માઈક અહીંયા છે ત્યાંથી જવું આ રોડ આ બાજુ સાઈડ છે અરે ઉભા રહો ओके अरे एक मिनट
We'll try and get you those reactions coming in from outside court, but that's the latest that we can tell you is that all the accused, 69 of them, have now been acquitted. 18, we're given to understand, have died in the intervening period of the trial that has gone on since 2002. Ananya, my colleague, joining us live for more details of what exactly transpired in court. Ananya, one of the accused was former minister of the BJP, Maya Kodnani. She, along with 68 others, all have now been acquitted by this special court.
Well, definitely, Poonam, this is a big verdict coming in the Gujarat massacre case. Remember, this was one of those cases that was being investigated by the specially constituted special investigation team that was just investigating cases relating to the Gujarat riots. And now, 21 years after that particular massacre had taken place, there has been an acquittal of all of these accused persons, including Maya Kodani and Bajrangi. So these were the true prominent accused, apart from remember, there were total 86 accused persons in this case, while 16 of them had already died during the trial. And that's the reason why the remaining accused persons were actually being tried in this particular case. And today, the final verdict is here, and clearly all of them have been acquitted. Now, what are the reasons for that particular acquittal? What we're being told is that a lack of evidence is actually there to actually prove the prosecution story in this particular case, and that's the reason why in fact this acquittal has happened. And whenever such a mass acquittal happens, the major reason remains to be the turning of the witness turning hostile, or evidence not being on point in a particular case. But what are the exact reasons that will be reflected in the detailed order copy that would be out in a very short while from now? But at the same point of time, why this case is very important, Poonam, is that remember that in this case, Maya Kodani, to prove her innocence, to prove that she was not there at the point of incidents at the when this massacre had taken place, she had cited somebody very important. That was the current Home Minister and the then Minister in the Gujarat government, Mr. Amit Shah, who had deposed as a defense witness in this case. Remember that almost 168 witnesses were cited by, in fact, the prosecution, while close to 87 witnesses were cited by the defense in order to prove prove their cases and to prove their testimonies. But all of this 21 years later, after the trial being there for almost 10 to 15 years, now acquittal of all of these accused persons have happened.
Right, like you were mentioning that some of them have died in the period that the trial was going on. Amit Shah was, the then Home Minister, was one of the witnesses in this particular case who confirmed the alibi of where Maya Kodnani was when this particular massacre happened. Remember, it was 11 people that were killed back in 2002 in the Naroda Gam area that was being investigated. There were over 80 accused in this particular case, 69 of whom have now been acquitted. We're still getting more details of what exactly transpired in court. We'll get you reactions of the lawyers of both the petitioners in this case and of the accused as well. We're given to understand, Ananya, that this was a 7-judge bench.
Well, it is somewhere, it is a SIT that had investigated these particular cases, and this was not exactly a 7 judges bench, but since the matter has continued for 21 years, almost 7 judges, some of whom were retired, some of whom who actually got transferred during the trial. So almost 7 judges have actually heard this particular case, but the final word.
सभी चार्जेस में थे, सभी एक्यूज को आज कोर्ट ने बरी कर दिया है. किसी को भी कोर्ट उठते तक की भी कोई सजा नहीं हुआ है.
Right, so I stand corrected there. It wasn't a 7-judge bench, but it was 7 judges in the course of the last few years that have heard this entire case. That's the clarification that is coming to the fore, as Ananya is pointing out, as to what exactly has transpired in this particular case. Several past orders, there were delays by prosecution. That is also something that has been highlighted in the course of this entire trial, Ananya.
Well, definitely a lot of documentary evidence, a lot of electronic evidence has been cited, but since those riots happened in the year 2002 and not much of electronic evidence at that point of time were available, there are a lot of documents that have been cited, and in fact various witnesses have deposed before the court in order to prove the alibi of various people, one of whom being the Home Minister of the country at this point of time, and then Home Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Amit Shah, who deposed for Maya Kudnani, clearing her alibi, saying that she was present in the Gujarat Assembly and not at the point of incidents that was there. But this is somewhere or the other a big order that has come in. But what would be very interesting to see is the observations and the reasoning why, in fact,
it's the fine print that will really perhaps show the way of whether or not this does become political. But for the moment, Ananya, thank you so much. We are shifting focus now to more news that is coming in, and this is from Jammu and Kashmir, where unfortunately 5 Jawans have been martyred after the vehicle that was carrying them caught fire. Sources are now telling your channel that there is an inkling, or there is a suspected ambush attack that is being looked into. We're now given to understand that a senior official is rushing to the spot. Initial investigation is pointing towards a possible ambush or a possible terror attack as well. That could be the reason behind the martyrdom of 5 of our Jawans in this particular incident. We'll try and get you more details of what exactly transpired there, but that vehicle, remember, did catch fire in the Poonch area a few hours ago. 5 soldiers of the Indian Army have lost their lives. They've been martyred in this particular Bimbar Gully accident. At about 3 p.m. is when that vehicle caught fire, but now we're learning that this could have been a possible terror attack or attack on the army vehicle that was carrying our army personnel. Anand Narasimhan, my colleague, joining us for more details. Anand, what have you gathered as far as what this possibly could look like?
Well, at this point, it is not fair to speculate, but we are given to understand that there are bullet marks which have been found on these bodies. So there is a suspicion that this could be a terror attack. We are waiting for authorities to confirm this. We are also given to understand that the cops have actually come to the spot. They have come to the entire area of the incident, and they are also examining the conditions. But prima facie, the information that our investigations editor Manoj Gupta is getting us at this point is that that the bodies at this fire area, the bodies have bullet wounds on them. Now, is this a suspected terror attack, or is there much more to it? Is it a possible ambush that has been done? We have to wait and watch, because there are bullet wounds on the bodies. So the cops are very clearly combing and thoroughly looking at this, and we are waiting to see whether or not there is this actually is a terror attack. The possibility of an ambush is very high, because there have been bullet wounds that have been found. This is happening in Poonch. That also will set the alarm bells ringing.
Yes.
And this attack is happening ahead of the SCO meeting.
Right, investigations are on, and we'll keep a track of that. For the moment, Anand, thank you so much. With that, it's a wrap from my side. Plain Speak coming up next.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. In a massive blow to Rahul Gandhi, Surat court today dismissed his plea, which challenged his conviction in the defamation case. The court came to a conclusion that the lower court order had appropriately dealt with the issues involved, and their decision was permissible under law. They also made some sharp observations that Rahul Gandhi was a member of parliament and he should have been more careful with his words. Soon after the order, the Congress party stated that they have full faith in the judiciary and will explore all their legal options. The BJP, though, took the opportunity to launch out an attack. They called Rahul Gandhi arrogant for not apologizing to the OBC community in this case. Now, there are other cases against Rahul Gandhi. 2 more defamation cases are currently going on over the same Modi surname remark, under which he's been convicted in one. A case is also underway over 2014 comments over the RSS. As of now, one thing is for sure, that Rahul will remain disqualified from parliament, and if situation prevails like this, he won't be able to contest the next elections in 2024 as an MP. Will the conviction saga then hurt the Congress party in the upcoming Karnataka polls, for example, and of course in 2024 general elections? Or is it more a loss of face for them, an attack point for them, than a political setback? We'll take those questions to our guests in just a bit. Let's take a deep dive into the court's observations today, because they are very important as far as the political battle raging on this issue is concerned. The court says the appellant, which is Rahul Gandhi in this case, was a sitting MP and connected with public life. The court observed that words spoken by the appellant were sufficient to cause mental agony. As Rahul was an MP at that time, high standard of morality is expected from him. Sentence announced by trial court was permissible under law, one of the observations as well. Court did not agree that the appellant was denied a fair trial as he was given a chance to cross-examine all witnesses. The argument made by the appellant regarding territorial jurisdiction cannot be accepted. Remember, this is one of the things the Congress party and its spokespersons had been saying. And here's the kicker. Rahul's disqualification from parliament cannot be termed as an irreparable loss to him. And therefore, they don't feel the need to stay his conviction or look back at his conviction. And here's why those observations are important, because here's a look at the arguments that were made from Rahul Gandhi's legal side, which were dismissed today summarily. So Rahul's lawyers had argued that the trial over this remark was not fair, dismissed. They claimed that there was no need for the maximum